Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Cancer, Sun, Moon or Rising. It's the weekly reading for the week of September 23rd to the 29th. Your cards this week, Cancer, you have the Awakening Oracle card. You have the High Priestess, the Nine of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Moon, the Six of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So I'm just going to start by reading out your Oracle card here, Cancer, the Awakening. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. You are going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you and at many levels. You are starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you incarnated. You may find that you're experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that is woven throughout all of life, or even feeling Kundalini Shakti rising through your body from the base of your spine. No matter what your belief system is, Cancer, we can clearly see from the cards here that you're going through a period of ascension. And, in all great religions, traditions, no matter what you believe, there was that understanding of us evolving, towards that spiritual consciousness, to getting that energetic upgrade, to, live in the 5D reality rather than the 3D. And I really feel like some of you are going through that quantum leap of that this week, and expanding. So some of you might be having some spiritual awakening symptoms as you go through this. I know there's a lot of planetary energy at the moment, a lot of awakening and ascension energy. So some of you might be feeling those shifts and becoming more connected with your psychic senses as well. So we can clearly see that in the reading. So let's see how it plays out. So recent past, let's start with the Five of Pentacles and the Moon. So, this really shows me a journey from a less evolved state of consciousness, Cancer. This could be in quite the recent past for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be last week. It shows a longer, previous time period where you might have been more involved with your shadow side. You might have been living more in, that sense of darkness, or just, that sense of being not as conscious, aware and awake as what you are becoming right now. The Five of Pentacles talks about that sense of, victim mentality, or that isolation. When we start to spiritually ascend, we start to come into unity consciousness, which is understanding that all people and things are connected and we're connected with source energy. The Five of Pentacles would be the card that would be the opposite from that. Here we see, a sense of scarcity in everything. We are not feeling the love. We're in a state of spiritual poverty with the Five of Pentacles. And, obviously that creates deep hurt and pain. These people here, they are so caught up in that sense of isolation and misery. And they don't have the things that they need, clearly. They've got no shoes, no bed for the night. They're probably hungry. But they're passing the church. They are passing the refuge. This tells me that, of course, that inner light, that sense of spirituality has always been there. It's open and available for everybody, but not everybody sees it, and not everybody is ready to see it. The Five of Pentacles, this is the Hierophant here, and the Hierophant is that great spiritual teacher. But in the past, it shows me that you weren't ready to see that big picture, and you might have been living on hard times because of that. Some of you might have gone through difficult relationships, lack of financial resources, because when we're not connected to source and we're not living our life in flow, things become really difficult. And here we have the Moon. Yeah, so just again, the Moon can have different meanings, but in this reading, this is you. For me, this is you living in your half light. So, you are moving now into a period of soul ascension. That light is becoming brighter to illuminate your path forward into, alignment with your higher self and with your life's purpose. Yeah, and the Moon can talk about bringing together, that wild wolf, shadowy side with your tame, everyday consciousness, so that you can actually live in alignment. Yeah, it's an interesting reading, definitely. So I really feel that this week you are having another level of awakening, as we mentioned in your oracle card here. the Queen of Swords, you know, she is all about awakening. She holds that sword of victory. She can see truths. She is the revealer of truths as well, as is the High Priestess. So I feel like you might have some sense of revelation this week that really helps you awaken to that next level. And that doesn't need to be anything, you know, major spiritual download or anything like that. It can just come through a situation or an interaction, an everyday interaction where you just see, well, actually, I've grown past that, or, you know, that it just triggers something in you. Yeah, I really feel like that's something like that could come to light for you this week with the Queen of Swords. She's also about, you know, releasing from things that no longer serve her. So you could be using that sword of victory to literally cut yourself free from the things that are holding you back, and the things that are holding you back from transforming even more. Because, you know, in the Six of Swords here, we do see you leaving some things behind. Leaving behind some past baggage, leaving behind some patterns of lower vibration, some, you know, patterns of less conscious thinking. It's time to let go of the ways of thinking that no longer serve you. That victim mentality, you know, that self-limitation, self-sabotage, all those things could be these swords here that are sitting in the boat. And if we can, you know, we leave them on the shore so that we can sail into smooth waters with an empty vessel. You know, we're emptying out. That is our goal in life too, is to empty out from the things of the mind, the swords of the mind that keep on poisoning us and holding ourselves back. Yeah, to get that strong sense that you're moving on from that this week. And, you know, there can be a sense of grief, because as the ego slowly starts to die and loosen its grip on us, there can be that period of not really knowing so much who we are anymore, grieving for the old. Sometimes when we're going through a spiritual awakening or a part of our ascension, the ego arcs up even stronger. And, you know, you can sometimes come into conflict with people. You can feel the behaviors of our Five of Pentacles here even more so. But just allow them to come up, because they're coming up to be transmuted and released. So yeah, if you are feeling some periods of sadness or strong emotions, that is absolutely normal when you're going through a level of awakening. But, you know, Cancer, this is what we're moving towards here. Moving towards a Nine of Cups reality, which is all about, you know, fulfilling your wishes. Because when you actually ascend your energies, and I've mentioned before about coming into alignment in the flow of life, you start to attract the people, situations and things to you that truly align with your highest purpose. And that's when you can get that feeling of total emotional joy, satisfaction, happiness and love. You know, Nine of Cups, almost a Ten of Cups reality. Somebody who is really content with life. You know, the Nine of Cups is also the wish fulfillment card. So, you know, it might be a great time during this during this awakening to do some manifestation activities, because it says that real contentment and wish fulfillment is on offer for you this week. And then we have the High Priestess. So yeah, you're definitely becoming more intuitive this week. Through this awakening, you know, your sense of psychic senses, your clear sentience, clear audience, you know, may become stronger for you. So if you do have those feelings, those intuitions, those gut feelings, all those types of things, definitely pay attention to them. And this is, again, you know, talks about the integration of the shadow side with your consciousness that we saw in the moon, but from a much more mature and developed standpoint under the High Priestess. She has that sense of wisdom about her, and she has been to hell and back. You know, she knows what the depths of the shadowy underworld are like, but she brings back that wisdom to make her, let's say, her above her conscious world, is what I'm trying to say, to make her conscious world better, to enrich it. You know, and that's what a spiritual awakening can be about. You know, you go through the depths of hell, you work through your pain, you release it, and you know, it's always a part of you, but you know, you have that sense of ascending beyond it, you understand it, and you can bring that information into your everyday world so that you can live and lead from a place of greater awareness, from a place of greater consciousness, to be more awake, to see things that are going on, to see truths so that you can transform, so that you can evolve even more. And when you do evolve, this is what's on offer for you. Living in alignment, achieving your dreams, because from that place you'll be so surprised what you can achieve. Doesn't mean that life will be easy, but it really, really makes us able to achieve real abundance in our lives as we ascend, and that's why it is our soul's purpose. I hope you enjoyed the reading there, Cancer. Just keep in mind, it's a general reading. It's not for everyone. You'll know if it's for you or not. Feel free to comment on the video. I'd love to know how this is playing out in your daily life and if you are feeling this sense of awakening this week. And I will be joining you for another reading next week.